do, guys?
It looks like we're doing the dang thing.
How do you know? How do you know that? Oh,
Oh, maybe it's trying to connect.
it's in somewhere, but it's not in the one that I set up, I don't think.
Oh,
Why does it do that?
waiting for voices of Arda. That's a great question.
We are live though, technically. Just
Gotcha.
why?
Hello.
I cannot ever get that to work.
But
Oh,
eventually
well.
do, right? Oh, no, we're good. We're good. It's because of the delay. It looks like it's not working.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Like the thumbnail that I had like preset is
Yeah,
working?
the event that you made on YouTube is connected to this. It just looked like it wasn't for the first 30 seconds or whatever of us being live via Zoom. So we're good.
Okay. I can't see it.
Try a refresh.
Yeah.
At least I'm seeing everybody and seeing myself discuss what I just said.
Really?
Okay, everyone good to go?
Yeah, I can see us.
Woohoo! Great, great.
Yeah, I'll message someone real quick. You're fine.
Perfect. Okay, cool. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, my dearest Bagginses and Boffins. We are so excited for this first Voices of Arda trivia event of 2025. We are excited for both a slightly new format or a repetition of a previous format done a little more streamlined, a little more hopefully engaging and exciting for everybody. And we are just so looking forward to engaging with you all in the chat and having a really fun time for these three contestants that we have. To that point, let me get started by introducing our illustrious co-hosts, and then we'll dig into the contestants as well. Starting things off, we have everyone's favorite troll, Jeff the Troll. Running point for
There's my
us.
mute button. Hi, everybody.
There you go. There you go. Running point, as always, we have the mother of the Voices of Arda, Callie Cosplay. Woohoo! And last but not least, we have our lore master of the day, our hostess with the mostest, hostman with the mostest, Bladorthin the Bastard.
Thank you, sir.
Now let's introduce our contestants in case everyone doesn't know them. First up, I'm going to try to do this in alphabetical order. Yes, that's how alphabets work. Adonathel, joining us all the way from, well, are you in Greece or are you Greek?
Yeah, I'm in Greece. I'm in Greece.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, thank you for being up so
No, it's
relatively
like
late.
7 o'clock here.
Yeah, I was going to say dinner time. Thank you for taking your dinner time and joining us today. That's so awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic, fantastic. And we'll pause occasionally and share little fun bits about everybody in case those in the chat aren't aware of you all amazing creators. But next up, we have David the Noldo joining us from Caliquendi, USA. That's a good pun, by the way.
How's it going, everyone?
Going well. Can't wait to see how everybody does. And
Yeah,
very much.
And before we get started, Strider and I would like to voice our support for Dave in this time when allegations of him being a past supporter of the Grey Elves. Those are at this time not confirmed, so do not believe them. They are baseless.
No.
Oh my
You don't know.
gosh.
That's the Noldoran gang sign, by the way.
There you go. There you go.
That's
And
the tongue
last,
warper.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, there's the script for y'all. And last but certainly not least, we have Kel or Caleriel joining us from the US as well. How are you doing today?
So nervous.
There's nothing to be nervous about. If you've ever watched an episode of Jeopardy, this is going to be kind of like that. Not exactly like that, but pretty similar. And to that point, let me pass the baton off to our illustrious Sir the Bastard to explain a little bit about what we're doing today and kick things off.
Thank you very much. We'll bring up the board in just a moment here, but unlike last time, we do have a scorekeeper that you'll be able to see at all times. There are a variety of different categories covering the sacred texts. That would be the Silmarillion, Unfinished Tale, and The Hobbit, of course. Some are very expansive categories.
And the Lord of the Rings, I think.
What was that?
The Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the trilogy. Yep.
Yeah.
With that being said, hold on, I'll bring up. Can you all see the board right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
certainly can.
let's review our categories real quick before we begin. First, we have geography. We do a deep dive on Bilbo Baggins. We do a highly specific dive into Unfinished Tales, covering the disaster of the Gladden Fields. Trilogy, potpourri, and we close it out with Silmarillion, which is also a potpourri category. Now, I did a randomizer on here, and that is how we arrived at the order of play you see below. We let Dave go first, Kel right after, and Adonadel in third. Now, if you do not know the answer, the person next in line gets the chance to steal it. If they don't know it, the person after them also has the chance to steal it. And of course, if nobody gets it, the question simply dies. And the only other thing I think to mention is when we did a run through of this board, all of us hosts together, I will give you points, but I won't take any away. So if you don't happen to know, you won't lose out on that question. I did say that was the only other thing, but there is another thing. Hidden in the board, there are 3 Bloodorphan bonus questions. These questions are double point values.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Now, did anyone have any questions, comments, concerns before we begin?
One
just
point of
to-
order.
Mhm.
Sorry, Dave. One point of order. Are we requiring the answer to the clue as a question?
I think if people would try to remember, that would be awesome, but I'm not going to hold it against anyone.
Agreed. Agreed.
And then my question was just about, so there's no need to like try to raise hands for speed like that, correct? Since it's just going next in
Correct.
line. Okay.
Yes, and
And
that's
how much time are we gonna have for each question?
we'd ask that you produce an answer in approximately 20 seconds or so.
Okay.
To that point, I could pull up a timer. Okay. Any other questions before we begin? Alrighty.
All right. With that being said, again, the order was randomized, and David, you came out on top. You have command of the board. Where would you like to begin?
I mean, I gotta go with the Silmarillion for 1,000 points, please.
All right. Beneath this mountain, one could find the halls of Vinyamar.
What is Mount Taurus?
Oh, very nice. Strong start for David, who goes on the board with 1,000 points. This brings us to Kel.
Silmarillion for 200.
Silmarillion 200. The name of the spear of Gilgalad. Gilgalad,
Aiglos.
sorry.
Aiglos. What is Aiglos?
That's right. Strong start. You know, I do have insults prepared, and I will use them. You guys you're doing great so far.
I look forward to them.
Adanadel. Did I pronounce that right? Adanadel.
Adanethel, like the H is like,
Adanethel.
yeah. So,
My apologies.
so yeah, trilogy for 1,000.
Trilogy 1,000. Upon waking up in the field of Cormallen, Sam estimated that Merry and Pippin had grown by this much since he last saw them.
Is it 3 inches?
Ah, excellent. Perfectly done. It was, in fact, 3 inches. And since they had more Entrot after they went back to Isengard, it's perhaps even more. At any rate, we return to Dave.
Silmarillion 800, please.
This is the English translation of Anfauglith.
What is the gasping dust?
Excellently done, David. You increase your score to 1,800. And we go back to Kel.
Silmarillion 400.
It's a Bloodorphan bonus double point value. This region of the world is characterized by grinding ice.
Where is the Helcaraxe?
There we go.
Amazing.
Once, twice, nicely done. And we return to Adanadel.
So Gladden Fields for 1,000.
Gladden Fields 1,000. These 3 children of Isildur's died during the disaster of the Gladden Fields.
So who is Elendur, Kirion, and Aratan?
Impressive, sir. Impressive. You double your score, actually, to 2,000. Nicely done.
Bloodorphan, real quick, if we could pause and do a quick little bit of trivia about each of our contestants, if that works for you.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Of course, it all went away. There we go. As I mentioned, Adanathel is joining us from Greece. But did you know that his favorite animal is a dog?
Yeah.
If
Well,
not,
I'm
now you do.
I'm a veterinarian, so dogs are the
Hey.
easiest to work with.
There you go.
Yeah.
They are, in fact, the goodest boys and girls, as we like to say. I love it. Did you know that David the Noldo has 4 favorite colors? These are black, red, blue, and green. If white was in there, you'd have the entire color pie of Magic the Gathering, and that would be triple points for you. But alas, you didn't. And did you know that Kel is also an accomplished and lover of dance? You do now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, all right. Enough of this frivolity. Let's get on with the festivities. Give them something hard, Bloodorphan.
I'll see what I can do. And I did want to say how excited I was for this event. I've never spoken to any of the players before today, but I've interacted with them quite a bit, and I can assure you all that this is top tier Tolkien trivia talent today, and we're only a few questions in, but everyone has been doing spectacularly well, and I'm excited to see who the victor will be. That being said, Dave, you're up.
Let's close out Silmarillion for 600, please.
This mountain range is sometimes known as the abode of eagles.
What is the chrysogreen?
There we go, nicely done. And you increase your score to 2,400 points. And let's put her on the spot. Kel, you're up.
Locations 200.
This was the only place in Middle-earth that the One Ring could be destroyed.
Where is Amon Amarth?
Otherwise
Doom.
known as Mount Doom. That is correct. Yes. Nicely done. And we tack back to Adanatel.
So locations for 1,000.
This watercourse separates the east fold of Rohan and Anorian in Gondor.
What is the Mering Stream? Glanhir.
Nicely done. Nicely done. And if you are looking for a piece of trivia from me, that is my favorite piece of Tolkien trivia. I don't know why. It just stuck in my head.
Glanhir is nice to hear.
Now, we go back to David.
Let's do locations 800.
Locations for 8. On Numenor, this lake was known for the sweet-smelling flora that grew on its banks.
I have no clue.
All right, then we move along. Kel, do you know?
Nope.
And Adanatel.
Yeah, so that you want the lake, right?
Yes.
What is Nisinen?
Wow, nicely
Nice.
done. Nisanin is the correct answer. You take those points. But we now go to Kel, who has command of the board.
Location 400.
We hold on.
Bloodorthan bonus!
Woo! Woo!
This river flows from the Lonely Mountain all the way past Orwinian.
What is the river running?
Nice. And let's get you
Well
those
done.
points once, twice, and you're at 2,000. This is an impressive game. Adanatel.
Yes. So Bilbo Baggins for 1,000.
Due to his advanced age, Bilbo was the only living hobbit who could remember this meteorological event.
What is the Fell Winter?
Dang, I thought that would trip you up, but it did not. The Fell Winter, nicely done. And we learned that, of course, in the Ringo South, and the only time it's mentioned is when they say no living hobbit, save Bilbo, could remember the fell winter of 1311, when the White Wolves invaded the Shire over the frozen Brandywine. So that was a deep cut, and count me impressed, sir.
Thank you.
Dave, we return to you.
Let's do trilogy potpourri for 800, please.
In the chapter of Herbs and Stewed Rabbit, these two rangers of Ithilien were commanded to guard Frodo and Sam.
Yeah, their names escape me.
All right, Kel, you have the chance to steal here.
I really should know this too because I've done quests for them in Lotro, but I cannot recall them.
All right, we return to Adaratel.
So who is Damrod and Mablang?
Mhm.
Nicely done, nicely done. And you take those points.
And their names I should have remembered given the Silmarillion.
Yes.
Do we have time to stop for some insults?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I was hoping for
Yeah.
one of the Bloodworthen.
Yes.
that's true. Oh well, I've utterly failed in that regard. So who do I owe one to David and I owe one to Kel, right?
I think you owe
we
me
each owe
two.
two.
At
Yeah.
least.
Okay. Well, David, I just wanted to let you know you are one bumbling barleyman and foolish Fernie. And to Kel, I've never met quite so much of a sniveling snagger as you.
Wow. Ouch.
Ouch, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, don't send me any therapy bills or anything like that. Now, at any rate, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Kel has command of the board.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I-
think.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, that was Dave's question.
Location 600.
The Rohirrim call Minas Tirith by this name.
Where is Mundberg?
Nicely done.
Hey.
Mundberg, the mighty city under Mindolluin, city in the southern kingdom. And let's get you those points. 2,600. And Adanadel, you're up.
So Gladden Fields for 800.
Isildur expected it would take this long to travel from Osgiliath to Rivendell.
Hmm. Do you want like the distance or the time it will take?
Time.
Time. So 30 days.
Close, sir, but unfortunately not the
So-
correct answer. Dave, did you want to take a shot?
31 days.
Not quite.
Price is Right rules, I see.
Well, keeping that in mind, Kel, come on down. Did you want to take a shot?
38 days, maybe?
Oh, we were all very close. 40 days. 40 days.
40.
Osgiliath to Rivendell.
My insult.
Oh, yes, sir. You are a baffling Borgil.
Ooh.
All right. That one we started off with a Danadel. So, Dave, you're up.
Let's do trilogy 600, please.
The Bane of Ugluk.
God.
No, it wasn't Gold. It was somebody else.
Why am I blanking on their name? Sorry.
Wow, that is that is time
Rapid-
apparently.
The wrap it up music.
We then turn to Kel. Do you know the Bane of Ugluk?
Oh, I'm so bad with these. I'm gonna guess, and I'm just gonna say who is Naga.
Unfortunately, that's not the answer we're looking for. Adanadel.
So you want the person, right? Not his sword.
The person. Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
so who is Eomer?
Nice. Nicely done.
So should Adenethel now have to give us both answers when he does that? Like, are we gonna start tripping him up a
Okay,
little bit here?
well,
or-
I can tell you the sword also. Good winner. Good win.
Now,
Well, if
here's
we
the
allow that,
question.
does that mean Dave gets to answer every question in Quenya?
Yeah.
We'll
I don't
run
I don't
it
think there's
back,
any
but-
more
Hold
left
on,
in
hold
Quenya,
on.
to be honest.
The judges need to discuss this before we allow that. So
I'll also mention, was it Guthwino or was it his spear that did the killing? That's an important question. I think it was Guthwino.
Yeah.
nerd.
Okay, no, the quote is, there he was slain at last by Eomer, the third marshal of the Mark, who dismounted and fought him sword to sword.
Ah, yep, there you go.
Oh, God.
You gotta love those citations. Okay,
Yeah, let's
now,
get more of those. Those are fun.
They are.
what have we
I
got
believe
here?
it's Kel's
So,
board.
Kel's up?
Yeah, but you were gonna do I think you were doing a point chicken. We don't need to do those anymore because we had the points right there. Never mind.
Oh,
Are they
also-
correct though, Jeff? Are they correct, sir? Our
Yeah,
score
they're correct.
checker. Excellent. The math is mathing. Okay.
The math is in fact mathing.
Nice. I can do math great when it's just pressing buttons.
That's all it is.
Now, Kel, you're up.
Trilogy Potpourri 400.
Denethor proclaims himself to be the steward of this royal house.
So I'm trying to decide if it's supposed to be who he's serving or what house he's from. But um, who is Menardil?
Unfortunately, that's not the answer we're looking for. Danadel?
Who is Anarion?
Yes, the House of Anarion. And that information comes from the chapter The Pyre of Denethor. And the direct quote is that he states, I am the steward of the House of Anarion. And Danadel, you maintain control of the board.
Okay, so Bilbo Baggins for 800.
Bilbo Baggins for 800. This dwarf changed history when he accidentally dropped Bilbo while attempting to escape the Misty Mountains.
Who is Dory?
Nicely done, nicely done. And this, of course, comes from the chapter Overhill and Underhill. Quite suddenly, Dory now was at the back again, carrying Bilbo. He was grabbed from behind in the dark. He shouted and fell, and the hobbit rolled off his shoulders into blackness, bumped his head on hard rock, and remembered nothing more. But let's make sure you get those points. And we go to Dave.
Let's go ahead and close out Trilogy for 200, please.
This is the name of Farmer Maggot's farm.
Why am I not being able to remember this? Wow. Yeah, I'm blanking on it.
All right, then. Let's tack over to Kel. Do you happen
Where
to remember?
is Bam Furlong?
Nicely done, nicely done. Yes, our information from that comes from the chapter A Shortcut to Mushrooms. One of the hobbits says, I know these fields and this gate. This is Bam Furlong, old Farmer Maggot's land. And the site of many a crime from a young Frodo Baggins.
As well as a... What's the insult?
Oh, yes, sorry. Bereft Boromir.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Now, Kel, right? Kel has
Yeah.
control still?
Yep.
Gladdenfield's 200.
Isildur died in this river.
What is the Anduin?
Nicely done, nicely done. Let's give you those points. Anduin is what we were looking for. Danadel
So Gladdenfields for 600.
for 6. It's a Blood Orphan bonus.
Jug, 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 jug.
During the disaster of the Gladden Fields, this blazed red as Isildur put on the One Ring.
What is the Elendilmir?
The Elendilmere, yes, nicely.
Elendilmere,
That's
yeah.
the answer we're looking for. All right. Do I have any more information on the Elendilmere? Should. Yes, but the in the chapter it says, but the Elendilmere of the west could not be quenched, and suddenly it blazed forth red and wrathful as a burning star. All right.
It is for double points, right?
Yes. Thank you for keeping me honest, sir. Dave.
Do Gladdenfields for 400, please.
All right. Isildur gave Otar these for safekeeping.
Was it the shards of Narsil?
Yes, that is what we're looking for.
Or what are the shards of Narsil?
Yeah, yep. No, you're good. Like I said, we're not going to be too stickler on the question format. But uh, Isildur says, Otar, I give you this now into your keeping. And he delivered him the great sheath and the shards of Narsil, Elendil's sword. All right, three left, all from the category Bilbo Baggins. Kel?
Bilbo 200.
After rushing from Bag End, Bilbo met the company of Thorin Oakenshield as they began their journey at this location.
What is the bird and baby?
Good guess. I see how you got that, but not the answer we're looking for. Adanadel?
What is the green dragon?
Yes, the green dragon is what we're looking for. And we can tell this in the note they left him on his mantelpiece. They say, um, they await your respected person at the Green Dragon in Bywater at 11 sharp. Meaning he had to run quite fast because it was 10:45 by the time he saw it.
Insult?
And now, you thick Theoden. So that was, it's a Danadel, right?
Yeah.
Hmm?
So Bilbo Baggins for 600.
This elf named Bilbo an elf friend.
Who is Thranduil? The Elven King.
Yes, either was going to be an acceptable answer. And he says in the return journey, Thranduil that is, and I name you elf friend and blessed. May your chateau never grow less, or stealing would be too easy. All right, get you those points. And Dave, you're going to close us off. You don't have any choice. It's Bilbo for 400. You're up. This solid and comfortable hobbit was Bilbo's father.
I'm horrible with the hobbits' names that aren't of the main cast. Who is Kilco? I don't know. I don't know.
Not what we're looking for, not quite. Kel, do you know?
I'm horrible with this too. I know Frodo's dad, but not Bilbo.
Yeah.
And I've
All
gotten
right.
this wrong in another trivia contest.
Adanadel, you have a chance to steal.
Yeah. Who is Bungo?
Yes, Bungo Baggins is who we're
Bango
looking
Bungo.
for.
Yeah. So
And we see this from the chapter An Unexpected Party, where the narrator states Bungo, that was Bilbo's father, built the most luxurious hobbit hole for her. And that was it, everyone. We've gone ahead and cleared the board. We end our trivia today with Dave the Noldo at 2,400 points, Kel at 3,000, and Adanatel at a most impressive 9,800 points. So to you, sir, may I proudly bestow all of the bragging rights in the world.
thank you. Thank you.
Now, I did want to thank all of our co-hosts, especially, she's going to hate me for saying this, Callie Cosplay, who's basically like our Gandalf. She's our gentle guide. She's our encouragement. And sometimes the person who says, figure it out. And we do all those things. And I want to give her special credit for the tone that she sets, not only for these trivia events, but for the inclusive, welcoming, and open atmosphere of the Voices of Arda.
Well, I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
cry at
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Trying to
Callie.
figure out how to get us. If you close your share screen, we can all be on the YouTube all together, and we can have a few last words if anyone does. Oh, look at all your hands, pretty, beautiful, and handsome faces. Good job, everybody. Good job. You
Thank
It's
you.
feeling?
done. It's over.
Woo!
Well,
Well
to tell
done,
you the
everyone.
truth, it was easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little
great
bit.
job. Great
Yeah.
There were
job,
a few
Stavros.
toughies in there. I mean, some of those 1,000 ones were tough. I certainly did not know, and I was so impressed with y'all.
But a good showing from all, truly.
Nicely done, yes.
Yeah, David, I was gonna get Silmarillion for 1,000 if I was going first.
That's why I think you might be doing that
Smart.
strategy. And I was like, ah, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's the one out of all those categories. I'm like, okay, for sure I'll know this one. But because my Hobbit and Lord of the Rings ones is not as great as that one.
Surprisingly, Hobbit is where most people
Yeah,
Struggles, yeah.
kind of skip
Hobbit's
over.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hobbit and
Yeah.
Unfinished Tales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like
Well, because
the most
most
yeah, go
most of
ahead.
the Hobbit stuff I was trying to memorize or remember for this event was just like the instruments and the colors of the hoods of the dwarves, because that one's
Yeah.
tripped me up in the past.
Yep. Those are great. Great.
And always like Bladorthin's top nines, the Hobbit ones are the hardest.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's tricky about The Hobbit is, especially and oddly, the further back you get into the book, there's like less and less proper nouns being introduced. So you
Yeah.
really have to lean into like character minutiae. Like I had one question, it's utterly ridiculous, but it's like, what was the name of the Hobbit who peered over his shoulder, thinking that Smaug might be coming or something? And no normal person would remember that it's Nori, but
Yeah.
I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I just
Mhm.
re-listened to all the audiobooks, all four for this trivia, and
Jeez.
I kept going. I would listen like 5 hours a day. I'm like, I have to get through these. I have to keep
Yep.
remembering things. And so I yeah, I might be a little intense, but
It's all right. A woman after our own hearts.
right.
Mm.
But yeah, I would keep finding myself going, "Ooh, that's a great trivia question."
Right, right. Like that was mine. I was like, oh, I should memorize like the companions of was it the Gowerwyth? And like
Mm.
that might
Yeah.
come up, like to name them, and it's just like, oh, like only one.
Yep.
And I did want to send out an invitation, not only to everyone here in the Zoom, but who may be watching on YouTube. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, either about formats, categories, questions, gameplay, send a message to any one of us hosts here, and we'll be happy to bring in those ideas. We've already begun, well, very, very light discussions of where we might go from here. One idea is to do all movie trivia event, which could be fun. There have been talks of using other formats, which I think would be a blast. But find us. You can certainly leave a comment in the YouTube or message any of the hosts directly. We'd be more than happy to consider that.
I will make sure to say, make sure to message us on platforms that will not be banned in about a week, because that is apparently still happening. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Mm.
Instagram,
Oh.
find us on Discord, find us on the YouTubes. Yes.
Yeah,
New
if
Betta's
anybody
giving
wants
us some
to
smack talk in the comments here. He's saying
Yes.
he's asking Tim if he or he's asking Adanithil if he thinks he could beat Tim. That's
Yeah, like I wanna go up against Tim and Belmont. I'm calling them out.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
if
you know what?
if
That
you
that
want
would
it,
be
that's
that would be my dream team matchup right there.
Oh, yes. We should
I
do some
mean,
head-to-head matchups at some point. That would be super fun.
we
Well, that
have a
might be a
call
good
out
idea.
now, so
Well, if
Mhm.
we just did brief head-to-head events, that could be interesting. We could even do brackets if we wanted to. This is
We've
what
yes.
gotten through this.
guys, you get me going on the trivia thing, and now my mind is just.
Yeah.
something
Pretty
else,
much.
if any of you are listening, is I'm coming for you podcast hosts, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
have one with the podcast hosts face each other. So if you're in the chat right now, Prepare
I'm
yourself.
coming for you. I'm coming for you, podcast
Andy.
host.
Amazing.
Something I do like to let everyone have a chance to is take some time to talk about whatever they're working on, projects, if they're Tolkien related or not Tolkien related, anything that you want to be, anything that you're proud of, we would like to share in the happiness. So. Everyone's like, oh, I have something, but I don't know if I should say it right now. Okay, David, let's start with you. You are right there on my screen, so.
So I actually just got the email for immediately before hopping on Zoom here. I only have one more edit to do on a paper I submitted for the Tolkien Society's, was it Tolkien and Religion in 20th Century back in November 2023, I believe it was. So my paper I submitted was on having Tolkien interact with the thought of the father of Black liberation theology, James H. Cone. And so that paper will
Love that.
be published hopefully by the end of this year, if not early next year. And that's forthcoming. Then also currently slowly working on getting out content for it for a kind of with Dave of Cinemillennials and I are kind of doing a like joint effort on what's we're calling, is it Arda Revised, where we kind of just look at like, you know, the internal sources within the Legendarium. So like Quentin Oldo or Pengaloth, and like how he got his sources, where he got his sources from, motivations behind that, and you know, all those types of aspects, like taking that type of more documentary hypothesis or textual source criticism
Ooh.
approach to the text.
Man, both projects I
Yes.
am keenly interested in consuming. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Danethel, tell us about you. Nobody knows about you. You're a newcomer to the
Yeah.
community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody who was sleeping on you is now awake. I tell you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
they are fully awake and paying attention. So please tell us
Well,
about yourself.
well, I'm the vice president of the Greek Tolkien Society, actually. And they
It all
won't
makes
let
sense.
yeah, they won't let me participate in quizzes here, so that's why I wanted to
Take it
play against you
international.
guys. Yeah,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
international. Yeah, and I discovered Blood Orphan's videos back in May, I think, and I really enjoyed them. And yeah, we are planning a Tolkien like conference the 3rd of May here in Greece in Thessaloniki, and I'm just working on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
One reason I was so excited about today is because I'd have to go through and count, but already off the top of my head, I can tell you that Danethel and Caleriel are the people who have played and commented the most out of anyone. So seeing that head-to-head matchup today was something of a treat for me.
It was
Love
really
that.
fun.
Yeah.
I just love doing trivia. I
Yeah.
listen to them while I work out because I don't really enjoy lifting weights, but I do it for my health. And so it keeps my mind off of like, this is really annoying, and gives me something to think about that I enjoy. So the time just passes.
I should do the same.
Maybe I should do a series where I do like encouragement videos, like stop being such an errant Aragorn and just do it.
Love it.
Aggressive support. Yeah.
Yes. Do that.
Kel, what projects you got going on? Fun things
Well,
you're doing?
I mean, I don't have much Tolkien related. I'm not in any groups or anything officially. I run.
But it is Ren
I'm a,
Fair season.
It is Ren Fair season, yes. So I will be at the Ren Fair probably next weekend.
Hey.
Because Texas Ren Fair season has to start early because we have, you know,
Eat.
yeah, a lot. They throw rings in our backyard. So I'm assistant director of a local community dance group. So that takes up a lot of my time. I co-teach dance every week, once or twice a week. We perform like every month. So that's a lot of my energy. I've also got 2 chronic health conditions that take a lot of time. I have to do a lot of cooking. But other than that, my day job is a desk job, and I spend pretty much my whole day listening to Tolkien related content. So TikTok, YouTube, and I listen to the audiobooks. My birthday is on Tolkien Reading Day, Gondorian New Year.
Ooh,
And
yes.
I just
Happy
got
belated
some
birthday.
birthday money. Thanks. And I just got the soundscapes for my birthday. So
Nice.
Ooh.
I'm really looking forward to, now that I've just finished my marathon listen, I'm going to go back and listen with the soundscapes.
Nice.
Oh, it looks like New Beta is going to do some
New
trivia
Betta's
after this.
feeling the trivia
Oh,
itch.
Yeah.
And shout out to
Nice.
Andy with Tolkien with Friends and Milo who was watching. Hi, little Milo baby.
Hi, Milo
Hi,
baby.
everyone. And Kaya and Katie and Johnny Walker. I don't think that's your real name, but
Nope.
but he's here to support
he's a friend of mine.
Aw.
He's here supporting at NFL, and we'd love to see it. Thank you so much for coming out.
Also,
And
I will be at another part as far as like news stuff. I'm not going to present there, but also I'll be at Westmouth for anyone else who will be there at Kansas
Fantastic.
City this coming May 9th, 8th through 11th, 9th through 11th. One of those two. I don't know who else is going, but
I'm sure there will be plenty of folks there. That's awesome.
that's what I've been hearing. A lot of plans, so
Mhm.
that'll
I'm
be
hoping
good.
to make it to Texmoot someday. It's in
Yeah.
Houston this year, so that's a bit of a drive, but they move it, I think, every year. So
Okay, so if unless anybody has last words, I guess we can let you guys go. You contestants probably want to let go of the stress now and do whatever it is you do. Have a bath or eat some chicken nuggies or something. I don't know,
get
but
a drink.
have a drink. Yeah.
Well,
Support
what I
that.
think you moronic Myrons should be doing is starting right now, prepping for the next event. Come on, come on, come on.
Yes.
Wait, what's a good place that I can test out my trivia skills at, Bloodorthan?
What a wonderful question. I would love for everyone to check out my TikTok page, but everything is also backed up to Instagram. So should the worst happen, I am active on Instagram. So go through those videos, test yourself, and perhaps take some time to also emotionally process the damage that I'll do to you with my
Yes.
biting insults.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you everyone for this fantastic showing. It was truly a blessing to have you all. And as a fellow Aries, this was a fantastic early birthday present. My birthday is on the 1st, actually. So
Oh.
very exciting
Wow.
times. Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Happy late birthday to
Happy
Kat
birthday.
and early birthday
Yeah.
to Nick.
Yes.
yep, fellow Aries.
Yeah. If you celebrate. Well, if you're looking forward to rewatching this, which in terms of the actual trivia event, I was very proud of us to make it complete in the amount of time that an actual episode of Jeopardy would take. So that was pretty cool. But you can always rewatch the VOD on the Voices of Arda coming up soon, and follow us on subscribe to the channel on YouTube to stay up to date. We're always putting out shorts, and we're starting to dabble in more long form content beyond the podcast episodes. So it's always really great to have people engage with us there and keep the community growing, especially with platforms shifting and weird things happening across the world. We're just so happy to keep the light and the fellowship going wherever we can.
Say goodbye, everybody.